on, pull it out of the way, and bring it right under the shank. And there you go, easy. So first thing you want to do is kind of prep your fabric for the hem. So think about the width that your hem or foot is. Mine's 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to try to do that right now to start off the stitch. So I fold it over once, and I'm going to fold it over one more time. And I can either finger press it down, or you can use a pin and slide it in vertically to keep that fabric down. And this is going to be our starting point for when we get to the machine. So here we have the fabric underneath the foot. And we have our little hem that we did with our fingers by finger pressing. And now we have a little bit of our fabric is already just rolling up into the funnel. So if your fabric needs a little help getting up there, just kind of push it to the side like this, and then kind of wedge it in and pull up a little bit like this. Because this is pretty much how you're going to be feeding it with these two fingers like this. It's going to need help going through the foot. So we do a couple stitches to start the hem, and it'll just go off on its own. The important thing is to make sure your fabric is going where you want it to go. So what I like to do is focus on keeping the raw edge right here on this little corner and the folded edge right here. So it's going to fold right back into the groove that I want it to go. And the fabric is going to need a little bit of help. So if you first buy your foot, you might want to practice it or practice with it a few times until you're comfortable with it, because it does take a little bit of practice. There we go. And as you can see, the fabric when you get to the end, just pull it like this to make sure that the fabric won't go over the edge. So for the small hem or feet such as this, you're going to be using it on the fine fabrics. So I really recommend putting a pin in there to keep this folded so that you can start the stitch off nicely. So we're just going to push it underneath here, and we're going to line it up with a little groove in the back. Just like this. We're just going to do a couple stitches to get us started and to get the fabric secured. And now we can pull out our pin. And to get the fabric up into this funnel, keep our needle down, lift up the foot, and you're going to want to use some tweezers because this funnel is so small. Just kind of try to wedge it in there. Like this. Put your foot back down, and you're going to want to try to guide it over like this. Basically, since it's 1/8 of an inch, we're going to be feeding in a 1/4 inch fabric. So I want to be putting in at least a 1/4 inch fabric. And how I do that is I keep the fold right here on this little toe, and I'm just trying to kind of go over with the raw edge over to this. So I'm trying to eye about a 1/4 of an inch. And with the bigger ones, it's kind of same thing. How much fabric is going to be folded in is how much you want just hanging out over here to guide into the funnel. And once you feel more confident with it, you can speed up. And don't get discouraged if when you're first learning to do this, it just doesn't work out that well. It takes a lot of practice to get completely comfortable, and this is just a straight line that I'm hemming, and you're gonna have to stop and start and make sure nothing's coming out of place. But once you have it mastered, it really is faster and a time saver, and it looks so professional, nice and neat. You'll love the way that it looks. And as you can see, I'm coming up to a hem, which is